welcome to my Son Different, and thank you for joining me today. Today is a mukbang, and I'll be having a Coke, sugar-free. I'll have 2 eggs fried, refried beans, and 3 fried tortillas. And I put some cheese on it, some sauce on my eggs, and some salsa on both. So today is like my first mukbang of the year, so I'm pretty excited. And during I was taking some notes on things like I thought were like relevant in my life for my year, and I made a list, if I can find it, and let's see if I can find it. It's in here. It's right here. It says New Year resolutions, and let's see, it says I have wrote down, are most, all, or some outcomes measured and milestones are predictable. So that's like my thing. Like I have like this thing where like every year, like I don't want to be disappointed because my year's always, every year's a blessing, right? So I figured my whole life, like, you know, like I don't want to feel like I'm just wasting time, you know, even if I get nowhere as far as goals are concerned. Like I want to feel like, I just want to feel like I was like doing something, you know. And I know like I'm pretty productive and stuff in my life, like I'm pretty active in my own life. I'm not an NPC, but I just want to signify, you know, by something that's physical, that's something that can appear, you know, in material life, you know, like something materialized from my work. So I mean, and it doesn't necessarily mean like I'm just focused on work. I'm talking about like every aspect of life. Like I want to feel like, you know, like I'm doing something that will show and prove the value, you know, that I feel like that's my validation, you know. And you know, like I think it has something to do with my self-worth, like, you know, self-esteem and stuff like that. But I don't feel like it's a negative thing, but I feel like it's a thing that I want to make sure I read into, you know, before, because the outcome, you can almost 100% never predict that, you know, because that's life, right? Life is unpredictable. Those are good. I feel like every time I make a resolution, I just stick to it, Bible. Every time I make a resolution, I just want to show off that I hit a milestone. And I'm so afraid to talk about it, you know, like I'll like switch code, talk about it, like kind of low key, just subtly bring it up. But you know, everybody's different. Like, I'd say, like, a lot of times when it's related to work or weight, they don't want to talk about it. The resolutions. So the first thing on my list, oh, and like, I know I don't have any makeup on and I'm just like in my PJs. That was the whole point of having breakfast in my PJs. I thought it was a cute idea. So I hope you like that theme. It says self-blame, self-hate. What's wrong with me? And I think, like, when you have self-esteem issues and maybe you look within yourself and you're kind of pointing the finger at yourself, I think a lot of times you really need to make sure that you're doing that, because you have this positive mentality, because you don't want to ever point a finger ever, where you are, in your environment, in the space that you create for yourself, your personal space. Like, you don't ever want to be pointing finger about you in a negative way, because you want to make sure that where you're at is positive, and everything that you find within you is a positive attribute. And it kind of brings, like, probably lighter, things that you could say are almost like positive traits that you have. So when you say, what's wrong with me? Maybe at the beginning of the year, when you're making a resolution and you want a positive outcome, you're gonna be more wanting most positive outcomes, or all, which, you'd have to look forward to most. So then you'd go, what's wrong with me? I do this positive thing overproductively, and this year I will do it too much, because this will just happen so fast, and I'll just overcome this milestone just so that much quicker, and I'll bring this into my life so much faster and so much easier, something like that. The second one is about pointing fingers. Hate, judging others. Am I projecting my toxic energy to others? This is something that I want to talk about, because there does exist hate. And although we can blame ourselves for maybe sitting back, or maybe we need to work on ourselves, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to talk about when, you have your space, you have where you are, you want to make sure it's safe, you want to be secure in your mind. I don't want to call it a victim mentality. I want to call it being active in your life and actively participating in your own positive outcome, in your own success. You want to maintain the environment that's going to get you a win. You don't want to lose, you don't want to suffer a loss, and you don't want to hang around losers. So make sure that whatever you do, when you see something, say something. The third thing, vanity, aesthetic. What really matters? People around? Or is it material? So, you know, like I said, the people around you, people associate them as your affiliates, and people affiliate them as your associates. 100% of the time, you want your associates to be positive people with positive energy that won't toxic influence you, you know. And so I say, you know, keep your close, you know, like keep everything, yeah, have standards, but like actually make sure to vet properly your environment before you know, before you dive deep into, you know, strange spaces, you know, because 9 times out of 10, things that you don't know will surprise you and shock you, and 9 times out of 10, those surprises and shocks aren't gonna be comfortable. And I can tell you, even though I work online, a lot of times I face things like that, you know, awkward, cringe situations where a coworker might not be holding a standard at all. And this is totally off a computer, off the internet, and it will still affect you mentally. So, you know, vanity, aesthetic, you know, where you're at, what standards you hold in your environment. It doesn't just mean like when you succeed in life, you're gonna want, like I said, material items, things that physically show your success, you know. Everything about you, who you keep company, and everything about where you work should speak, you know, I'm a winner. You know, I worked this hard to have something I'm proud of, you know, not only proud of, but proud to be a part of. And, you know, show off. You know, like if somebody, you know, wanted to peer into your life today, you'd say, welcome to my world, because it was just that, you know. Your entire world should be something that you're proud of, you know, because it proves and shows what your work ethic is, you know. Some people keep toxic friends, you know. They look up to toxic influencers. Some people are deadbeat parents. Some people, you know, they just, I'd say they just live for clout. And those are the type of people that you kind of want to remove out of your life, you know. And I'd hate to say that was a goal, you know, because we're supposed to be on the up and up, right? Number 4, work ethic, productivity. Am I a workhorse or unresourceful? What are my options? To create attainable goals. Your work ethic and your productivity. You know, if you invest in your goals, you can attain them. You know, you don't. If you're a workhorse, you might just drop over and, you know, retire early because you're so exhausted. So maybe keep a steady pace. You know, keep track. Keep track. Write it down. You know, you have resolutions. Maybe take one of your toxic traits and to bat. And, you know, if you have to, you know, stand on business the whole year, well, then you know you should have done it sooner, right? And if you accomplish it and conquer that habit, that poor habit forming trait, then all the more power to you, you know, in the future. And as far as I'm concerned, that's an accomplishment. That's an attainable goal. So not necessarily will you need to be resourceful, but you definitely need to invest something, right? So you know, can you create options? Can you create options by, let's say, removing bad things in your life, like that you don't need anymore? Maybe. Maybe push for having more positive things in your life and thinking more positively. That alone will spell out success because you already have your mind set, you know? You know, when they call it victim mindset, I think you need to think more about having a mindset to make sure that your life is fulfilled, you know, successfully, you know, and, you know, maybe it makes you feel complete, you know, full of love, and have, you know, standards that are above average. So living standards and goal achievement. Living standards and goal achievement. Are my expectations higher than average? Are my goals reachable? How does my environment measure success? My goals and actions are repeat wins. So, goal achievement, like I was explaining about my situation and resolutions, and living standards, like how my lifestyle, things that I find I can invest in, you know, like predictability as far as, you know, having standards, to which milestones during the year I will conquer and win. You know, like I said, you know, write it down. And as far as goal achievement, I think positivity, when you set your mind to I can, you look for more ways, you know, than you would if you said, well, I can't. And then that would be it. That would be that. And, you know, there'd be no more conversation about it. There'd be nothing more to say, nothing more to discuss about, you know, reaching the goal. Are your expectations higher than average? Maybe you want to compare your resolution achievement to somebody else's, like you did last year. I don't know. Do I do that? Yeah, I think I do. I think that's what bothers me, is that I want to win. I want to win winning. So are my expectations higher than average? No. But you know what I mean? Like, I still want more credit. You know? Like, I bet, like, some of you guys understand what I mean. Like, I want to compete with somebody and say that I did accomplish my resolution. That I'm successful at that, you know, but is it even that much of a brag? Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't try. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta try, right? I try. But I can't say like it's a brag for the books, you know. But are my goals reachable? Are your goals even reachable? Like, some people want, you know, they want miracles. Like, you can't have miracles. Like, some things, like, some people want require, like, professional, you know, professional counsel. Like, no matter what, like, you can't just reach certain goals that require, especially, like, if they require money. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say you can't. You totally can, but you know what I mean? Like, I like to keep things pretty basic, and I'm pretty simple. But when I'm telling you I mean business, I do mean business. And are my goals even reachable? I think when I make them, I hope they are, and that's enough for me. And I think it's kind of contrasting to what I was just talking about expectations, you know. I'm not saying I feel entitled, but I do have higher expectations of myself than the average person. And how does my environment measure success? Let's see, how does my environment measure success? And we went over that before. The way you live, your standards of living, the way you have hopes and aspirations and dreams, and work on them daily. You know, you want to call this your grind. You want to wake up and be productive and active in your own life. You want to be holding yourself accountable at every, angle, as far as reaching success in your life. So you want to say my goals and actions are repeat wins, holding accountability, taking action, period. Like I said, wake up and grind and repeat, Before you go to sleep, write it down. Simple, you know what I mean? But I can say, if you stick to it, I think it becomes like a repeat of the year before that, because like the habit's there and it's not a bad habit. So it's not something that you're going to remove the next year. It's something that, it's a win that you're going to repeat. It's a win in its own right. So you need to keep that one. And, use that as a resource. Empower yourself. And remember, everybody measures it differently, and 9 times out of 10 you will too. I feel like just being more involved in your life could lead you on the path to success. So these resolution things, these writing them down, these milestones are not a laughable matter. They're not like something that you can take lightly. This is something that says you have depth. It says that you're not like a basic person. Like it says that it speaks volumes for your character. It's like, hello world, I have a personality. So maybe to some people it's like you only care about one thing, but maybe maybe you need to talk to people more like you more often. Maybe you need to have downtime, or maybe find new habits that promote this sustainable lifestyle, because like I said, if you invest in the small things, you will get W's, and the results will start showing effective immediately, because you're gonna have a change of standards, not just within yourself, but you will hold others accountable, and your lifestyle immediately changes, and I talk about that a lot, because you don't want to be an echo chamber of somebody who's toxic, who's a victimizer, or who is capitalizing off of your hard work. You're not going to break your back with some random, just like you're not going to break your back for nothing. So when I say stand on business, I mean hold firm that you're going to challenge yourself and make habit forming more positive, and that's one thing this year. I think 2024, we're gonna look forward to making successful investments, managing our life properly, so that way there is accountability and standards, that our lifestyle isn't a laughable thing. it's an actual thing, and people, you don't realize it, but the better lifestyle you have, the more people will look up to you, and you want to be that. You want to be that man. You want to be the man. You want to be the man that people want to meet. Okay? So keep your alpha energy, because 2024 is looking up, and I can see, positive outcomes this year. This year will bring positive outcomes and success into your life if you let it. Like I said, it takes work and willpower. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my show, and I'll see you guys again soon on my Sunday Frown. Bye bye.